Clashes between the opposition and security forces right next to the presidential palace. It's become a regular occurrence on the streets of Port-au-Prince. Protesters continue to demand President Jovenel Moise steps down.
It's a strike against kidnapping, against hunger in the country, and we are sending a clear message to the president to respect the Constitution.
Earlier this week, transport unions and other workers went on a two-day strike denouncing institutional violence and an alarming rise in kidnappings. Human rights groups say at least 1,000 people were kidnapped in 2020.
When someone is kidnapped, the person must go to the street and ask for Jovenel Moise to give him security. That's the reason why we organized 2 days of lockout to show Jovenel Moise that we can't accept this situation, you know? But as soon as the lockout finishes, the kidnapping restart quickly.
Haiti's opposition says it's time for Moise to go. They say his mandate ends this Sunday. But Moise disagrees. He says his 5-year term began when he was sworn in 2017, and that he still has 1 year in power. But members of the opposition say Moise's term began in 2016 in the wake of chaotic elections. And while the political crisis deepens, Haiti's economy continues to deteriorate. Economists like CAMILE CHARLEMERS says urgent action is needed.
The amount of people going hungry in the country has doubled. It's gone from 2 million to 4 million people. The currency is devaluated and there's an inflation rate close to 25%.
To complicate matters, legislative elections were postponed when parliamentary terms expired. This past year, President Moise has been ruling Haiti by decree. The U.S. and the Organization of American States have urged new legislative elections to restore the balance of power. Moise is proposing a referendum in April to reform the Constitution.
Last week, we held a major meeting with all entities, including the UN, the Provisional Electoral Council, the Advisory Committee, the government, the police chief, the Prime Minister. We had a big talk about security issues, elections, and the referendum. We were clear with all these people on April 25th because it will be a victory date for us.
But the opposition says it's another excuse to hold on to power. And that's why they vow to continue pressuring the government on the streets. Teresa, Al Jazeera.